So today I want to talk a little bit about how we create a state of resourcefulness, and then I'm going to guide us into a practice where we actually do the work to do that. So it's going to be a little bit different than a normal mindfulness practice. I'm going to use this. It's from the work of neuro-linguistic programming. It's a certification I did a while ago, and I love the work. And so this is really about it's about purposefully creating a state of resourcefulness in ourselves and then anchoring that in our body. And so I'll guide you through that as that happens. But I just want to kind of introduce this topic a little bit. And so I was listening to, I'm a podcast junkie. I'm here to admit I'm a podcast junkie. And I was listening to one about business the other day, and the woman was talking about how, kind of create a business plan, or you might even do this for your home finances, right? Or your home goals for the year. And quarter
Just
two
like 15 minutes
of the year,
self-care.
I'm going to mute everybody. I realize I didn't do that. Getting feedback there. And quarter two started when this pandemic hit, and it will end on June 30th. And so she was kind of asking business owners of, what are you doing with your quarter two goals? Like, have you changed them? Because she's this business coach, and she was saying how over and over and over again, people have said like, well, I've just thrown that out. I'm no longer doing that because of the pandemic. And I know as a life coach, I've been hearing that a lot. Like, everything's changed. Everything has changed because of this pandemic. And so we've kind of thrown everything out of these goals. And so I was listening to this podcast, and it just made me think about that, and how as we throw those out, so, the pandemic is outside of our control. We don't have any, we could argue how much control we have over it with physical distancing, but for the sake of argument, we don't have control over it. And so then what we do to gain control is to change everything in our own lives and to modify what's happening inside of here. And so, but what happens as we do that personally and professionally, and, maybe travel plans have changed and financial goals have changed, then along with that comes hopelessness and frustration and feeling like, maybe some relief, like, oh, I don't have to do that thing I said I was going to do. I don't have to change my eating style like I said I was going to do. I don't have to, stop drinking like I said I was going to do. Like, there's some relief, but then there's also a little bit of that self-critic voice that comes up around, well, I don't know if I would have done it anyway, or there might be complacency, the idea of like, this is just how life goes, isn't it? I go to set a goal and then the world falls apart. And it's that kind of like self-critical message that we give ourselves. And so for me, tapping into that was really helpful of like, yeah, I don't have to change everything. Everything outside of me, a lot has changed. My world, literally my entire planet has changed. But it doesn't mean I have to throw away everything. So I can look at this particular period of time and think, what do I want to do now that everything's shifted? Rather than throwing it out, saying, what are my goals now? What is important to me? What are my values? And how can I be present with that now? And so for some of us, those goals are, maybe it's like, I want to save money. I know personally, I am on the same tank of gas I had in early March. I'm definitely saving money in that realm. It might be that I want to cuddle with my child for at least 15 minutes a day. Like, I want to just be still and cuddle and be present with my child for 15 minutes a day. It might be that I want to sit in stillness or start a journal or commit to a mindfulness practice. Like, where are your values? Where are the things that are important to you, and can you bring them into this time period? And as we do that, as we set those kind of new goals for ourselves, if you will, we are also then feeling some success. We're feeling some motivation. We're feeling that like, I'm moving forward, I'm doing this thing, and I'm in a state of resourcefulness. I am being resourceful. And so that's what I want to practice today, is getting us into this place of resourcefulness, and really being present with what is. So what is that everything has changed. But also what is that I can be in a place of resourcefulness and create what I want to create right now, whatever level that is. And so with that, I want to have you drop into this moment, close your eyes or take a soft gaze. Take some breaths and bring your focus into your breathing. You might feel your body relax. Sometimes it's helpful to place your hands in just an open, receiving posture. And purposefully following that breath, following it as it flows into your body and following it on the way out. And just allowing your full attention to be on that breath. And as that happens, observe what happens in your mind and in your body. You might feel your shoulders relax. The space between your eyebrows release. Tension in your jaw. Following the breath in and following the breath out. Just continuing to bring your attention back. Knowing that as your mind wanders, that's just part of being human. It says nothing about you except that you are human. Now I want you to feel that breath throughout your whole body. Feel it all the way down to your toes. Allow that breath, that inhale, to be a source of energy as we move to create this resourceful state within ourselves. Every breath that comes in is energy that I'm bringing in. It's focus, it's concentration, it's allowing, it's observing every breath. And now I want you to imagine a time, and it could be recently, it could be right now, and it could be far in the past. A time where you felt resourceful and capable. I want you to return to that moment and see if you can embody the feeling that you had in that moment. Maybe you walked into doing something new, or you said no to something you had wanted to say no to for a long time. Faced your fears, did the thing, said the thing, whatever it is. Observe yourself doing that and observe the feeling in your body. Maybe you feel a lightness or a brightness in your chest. Maybe there's a strength in your stomach or your back. Feel where that is in your body. And continue to breathe energy into that space. And then listen. Listen to your body. Listen to your mind and see if there's any phrase that you hear yourself saying or that you want to say to yourself in this state. And you may hear your own message bubble up, or you may use a phrase like, I am resourceful. I am in choice. And begin to breathe that energy and that resourcefulness into that statement as well. And then I want you to imagine you are standing with this feeling in your body and this statement in your body and this breath of flow, of energy, of concentration, of focus. All of that, all of you, you're standing in a circle. See if you can imagine or visualize that circle. Notice what your circle is made of. For some of you, it might be a hard surface. Maybe it's soft. Maybe it's sand. Maybe it's metal. See if you can just begin to notice what that circle is. This is your circle of resourcefulness. Notice it. Is there a texture or a color? And again, you're breathing that, all of that focus and energy into that circle. And now around that circle, I want you to imagine lights. Maybe they're stage lights, twinkle lights, or glow lights. Just see what comes up for you in your imagination. And they're on you. And that light is on you. In your place of resourcefulness. And just really stand in this moment. Stand in this place of resourcefulness. Feel it, breathe it, hear it, see it. And then when you're ready, we're going to anchor this feeling into your body. Just like trauma and stress anchors into our body, we can purposefully anchor resourcefulness into our body so that we can return to this place when we are feeling unresourceful. And so for this exercise, what I'm going to have you do is when you really come into this moment and you feel yourself and you really are in that place of resourcefulness, I want you to just take your right hand or your left, whatever works for you, and pinch your right or left ear, your earlobe. So for me, I'm taking my right hand and I'm pinching my right earlobe. And then I'm releasing. And as that happens for you, just notice any brain chatter about it being odd or weird or funny. Just observe it and then come back to your circle of resourcefulness. And what we did in this practice is we created an anchor. And whenever you feel yourself sinking out of that, whenever you feel reactionary or on autopilot, whenever you feel yourself being less than mindful, come back to that anchor. Pinch your earlobe gently and allow that source to come back into you. Allow this vision of resourcefulness to be present for you again. And when you're in a place of resourcefulness and you notice that, also re-anchor it. Pinch that ear again, layering your anchor, making it stronger and stronger for you. We're going to step out of that place of resourcefulness. We're going to leave that anchor there, that place that we can come into at any point, at any time. We're just going to return to our normal breathing, returning to the sounds that are around us. Returning to your heartbeat. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes or bring your eyes forward. Thank you so much, everybody. I know that was a little bit of a different practice. Again, that's from neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP. And remember that you have that throughout the week, throughout the day. Go back to that anchor. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you next Tuesday.